She was rejected over 100 times, told her idea was impossible, and completely ignored by Silicon Valley. Today, she's the CEO of a $26 billion company that millions of people use every single day. This is the story of Melanie Perkins, and I promise you, almost nobody tells it like this. Before Melanie Perkins became the billionaire founder of Canva, before she revolutionized design for over 170 million users worldwide, before she proved that you don't need to be in Silicon Valley to change the world, she was just a 19-year-old university student in Perth, Australia. She was teaching other students how to use complicated design software. And that's when she noticed something that would change her life forever. She watched her classmates struggle for hours on the simplest tasks. She saw their frustration with software that felt like it was designed only for experts, not for normal people. And Melanie just kept asking herself one question: why is design so hard? Why does it take dozens of clicks to do something simple? Why can't anyone create something beautiful without years of special training? That frustration planted a seed. But it was a seed that would take 13 years, over 100 investor rejections, and a relentless, almost superhuman persistence to finally grow. Melanie Perkins was born in 1987 in Perth, Western Australia, which is one of the most isolated major cities on Earth. There was no tech ecosystem, no venture capital culture, and absolutely no startup shortcuts. Her parents were hard-working middle-class Australians. No billionaires, no special connections, no safety net. But what Melanie did have was curiosity and drive. At just 14 years old, she was already designing and selling handmade scarves at local markets. She loved creating things and solving problems. At 19, she enrolled in university, still unsure about her future. Then she took a part-time job teaching design tools like Photoshop and InDesign. And that's when the problem became crystal clear. Design software wasn't built for people. It was built for professionals. Melanie thought, what if design was simple? What if anyone could do it? And most people would just stop at the idea. But Melanie didn't. In 2007, she and her boyfriend, now co-founder, Cliff Obrecht, decided to act. They had no tech background, no startup experience, and zero funding. So they started in her mother's living room. They built a platform called Fusion Books, which allowed students to design their school yearbooks online, simply and collaboratively. Melanie's schedule was brutal. She'd wake up at 5 a.m., work on the company, go to university, teach her classes, then work again until midnight. No weekends, no breaks, no breaks. They started cold calling schools all across Australia. Most of them said no. But slowly one school said yes, then another, and then another. Fusion Books started growing internationally. It was a success. But Melanie wasn't satisfied. She was thinking much bigger. If we can simplify yearbooks, she thought, why not all of design? That massive idea became Canva, and this is where most startup stories end. But for Melanie, this is where her real battle began. She needed funding, serious funding, and for that she needed investors. So she pitched and pitched, rejected again, rejected over and over. Investors told her, Adobe already owns this space. Design software is too competitive. You're not a technical founder. You're too far from Silicon Valley. Over 100 investors said no. She and Cliff scraped together money to fly to Silicon Valley, pitch while exhausted and jet-lagged, get rejected, and then fly all the way back to Australia to keep building. They did this for 3 years. Most people would quit after 10 rejections. Melanie just kept going. Then, finally, a breakthrough. She met Bill Tai, a Silicon Valley investor, at a random kitesurfing event. That one connection led her to Cameron Adams, a former Google designer. Cameron believed in the vision. He joined Canva as a co-founder, and suddenly, investors started to listen. In 2013, after 6 long years of grinding, Canva raised its first $3 million, and then Canva launched. It was simple, it was free, it was drag and drop. The tech world doubted it, but the users didn't. Canva exploded. Students used it, small businesses used it. Teachers, nonprofits, creators, everyone. It grew to millions of users, then tens of millions. By 2018, Canva became a $1 billion company, and Melanie Perkins became one of the youngest female CEOs to ever reach unicorn status. But she didn't stop. They added more features, more languages, more countries. By 2021, Canva had reached a staggering $40 billion valuation. Even after market corrections, Canva remains one of the most powerful and accessible design platforms in the world, used by 92% of Fortune 500 companies. Today, Melanie Perkins is worth billions, but her greatest achievement isn't the money. It's proving that you don't need the perfect background. You don't need permission from gatekeepers. You don't need to be in the right place. What you need is persistence. She turned over 100 rejections into a global impact. So if your idea feels impossible, if you're being told no again and again, if you feel too small, too far away, or too late to the game, just remember Melanie Perkins, building a world-changing company from her mother's living room in Perth. Your story isn't over. Keep building. Keep believing. The world is waiting for what only you can create. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, make sure to like and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.